Assalamu alaikum students. I am Sadaf Sania and today is our second lecture. Today we are going to discuss the essay The Damned Human Race by Mark Twain. First we will discuss I will give you a general introduction of the lesson. The Damned Human Race is an essay written by Mark Twain where he contemplates and satires human nature. It is one of his greatest essays that was published in his book Letters from the Earth. The main idea of the story is that human beings have a very combative, cruel, and callous nature. That is, human beings are cruel in their behavior, they try to fight with each other, and they like to harm others. Mark Twain rejects Darwin's theory of evolution, in which Darwin states that man is the highest creature or the height of evolution of species. But he proves through experiments that man is the lowest animal and not the highest animal. He believes that even the cruelest animals, birds, fish, reptiles, and insects, are better than man. He compares human beings with animals and comes up with the conclusion that human beings have vices, weaknesses, evilness, but animals don't have these qualities. वो ये कहना चाहता है कि इंसान क्रूअल है, वो लड़ना चाहता है और वो दूसरों को नुकसान पहुंचाना पसंद करता है. मार्क ट्वेन ये कहता है कि डार्विन की थ्योरी के इंसान सबसे आला मखलूक है सही नहीं है और इंसान सबसे लोएस्ट एनिमल है. वो इंसान का तकाबुल दूसरे हैवानात से करता है और इस नतीजे पर पहुंचता है कि इंसान बुराइयों का और कमज़ोरियों का मजमुआ है और ये बुराइयां और कमज़ोरियां जानवरों में नहीं पाई जाती. इस ऐसे के जो मेन पॉइंट्स हैं वो ये हैं कि इंसान जो है वो क्राउन ऑफ क्रिएशन नहीं है और उसका बिहेवियर और उसकी आदत ऐसी हैं कि जो उसे दूसरे जानवरों से कमतर बनाती हैं ना कि बेहतर बनाती हैं. He believes that man's behavior is not good enough to be called the crown of the universe. He proves his point of view through different experiments conducted in the London Zoological Gardens, and he comes up or he reaches to the following conclusions. The first conclusion is that man is cruel. He believes that man is the cruelest creature on the planet. He compares man with the anaconda, a very large snake, and he comes up with the conclusion that anaconda is not as cruel as human beings. He gives the example of an English earl who killed 72 buffaloes for sport and ate only one of them. On the contrary, when he put 7 calves into the anaconda's cage, anaconda ate only one and left the other 6 alive because it only cared about its hunger and it was not cruel by nature. But man harms his enemies, man kills creatures for pleasure and he is cruel generally. वो ये कहता है कि इंसान जालिम है और वो अपनी खुशी के लिए और महज खेल के लिए दूसरे जानदारों को नुकसान पहुंचाता है और उन्हें मारता है. वो एक इंग्लिश अर्ल की एग्जांपल देता है जिसने 72 बफलोज इसलिए मार दिए क्योंकि वो एंजॉय करना चाहता था और उनमें से उसने सिर्फ एक खाया, जबकि एक एनाकोंडा के केज में जब उसने 7 बछड़े डाले तो एनाकोंडा ने सिर्फ एक खाया और बाकी 6 के 6 छोड़ दिए, जिससे साबित होता है कि इंसान जालिम है जबकि जानवर जालिम नहीं है. The second conclusion is that man is greedy and miserly. He is greedy because he tries to collect wealth and as much wealth as possible. And he is miserly because he does not want to share that wealth with others and he keeps that wealth to himself even when others need that wealth. He gives the example of bees, squirrels, ants, and some birds who collect the food for winter season, but they collect only that which they need for the winter season, and when they collect enough they stop collecting more food. But man accumulates wealth and there is no limit to his desire to collect wealth. He stores food items and then sells them at higher prices even when people are hungry around him. On the other hand, animals do not do this, and they eat only what they need, and they do not try to collect more than their need. So that proves that man is greedy and miserly, and animals do not have this quality. ये कहता है कि इंसान लालची है और कंजूस है, वो दौलत जमा करता है और उस दौलत को दूसरों के साथ बांटना नहीं चाहता, वो खुराक को भी जमा करता है और उसे महंगी कीमतों पर बेचता है, जबकि जानवर ऐसा नहीं करते. The third conclusion is that man is revengeful by nature. He proves that man has the desire to get revenge. He does not forget and he does not forgive. He tries to harm others on the basis of any slight that might have taken place many years ago. No other animal does that. Animals forget the past and they live in the present. If an animal attacks another animal, that is for immediate effect and immediate harm. But human beings keep on thinking about the harm that they suffer, and then they fight wars, they enslave other people, and they try to take their wealth away, their happiness away, just to get revenge. And they conspire against other people, that is, they make plans to destroy others, when animals do not do that. They are open in their action and they are innocent as compared to man, because they do not take revenge and they do not harm others for and do not make plans to harm others. That is why he considers that animals are much better than human beings. तो वो कहता है कि इंसान में बदला लेने की आदत है, बदला लेना उसकी फितरत में शामिल है, वो किसी भी जाति पर सोचता रहता है और फिर उसका बदला लेता है, वो साजिशें करता है और दूसरे इंसानों को तबाह करने की कोशिश करता है, जंगें लड़ता है सिर्फ और सिर्फ बदला लेने के लिए, जबकि जानवर ऐसी कोई हरकत नहीं करते. The next fault of human beings, or the vice that human beings have, is that man is maniac in his aspirations. That means that man is very strict, or you can say hard about his beliefs. If a man believes in any religion or any political beliefs, then he does not allow others to have different opinions. He wants everyone to believe what he believes in, and he harms others on the basis of religion and politics. He does not tolerate people with different thoughts. He tries to harm others on the basis of these issues. He gives many examples from the history. He gives the example of the Red Indians of North America, who killed their who killed their prisoners and plucked their eyes out. He gives the example of Middle Ages, when people were skinned alive and then salt was put on their backs. He gives the example of the era of Richard I, when he killed Jewish families by burning them in a tower. King John harmed his nephew's eyes with red hot iron, and other rulers committed similar crimes in their time. But birds and animals do not do this. They live in the forest with other animals and birds, and they do not harm them except for food and defense. But man has this trait which puts him at a lower level than the animals. That proves that animals are the higher creatures and man is the lower creature. वो ये कहता है कि इंसान अपने नज़रियात में कट्टर होता है, वो दूसरे इंसानों को मजहबी और सियासी नज़रियात की बुनियाद पर नुकसान पहुंचाता है, उन्हें मारने की कोशिश करता है. वो तारीख से ऐसी बहुत सी मिसालें देता है जब इंसानों ने दूसरे इंसानों के साथ इंतहाई जालमाना सलूक किया. दूसरी तरफ वो ये कहता है कि जानवर दूसरे जानवरों को सिर्फ इस वजह से नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाते कि वो उनसे मुख्तलिफ हैं, इसलिए जानवर इंसानों से बेहतर हैं. In the end, we can conclude that Mark Twain's observations and experiments provide evidence and convincing arguments that man is lower than animals. But his purpose is to expose human weaknesses and to make people realize that they have intelligence and reason, and they should behave better than how they are behaving right now. They should change these uh, vices and become better creatures and atone their position of the highest creature in the universe. So आखिर में वो कहता है, हम ये कह सकते हैं कि मार्क ट्वेन का ये जो ऐसे है इसका पर्पस इंसानों को ये एहसास दिलाना है that they should overcome their weaknesses and try to become better creatures. I hope you have understood the lesson. If you have any questions or queries, please ask in the comment section. In the next lecture, we will discuss the main questions of this lesson and how to solve or how to provide suitable answers to those questions. Allah Hafiz.